I was going to ask you because yes, we talked about the planet Apu, and yeah, there are so many planets and so many races. According to your research, what do you think? How many different ET races visiting Earth, at least for the past 80 years? Like, what do you think?
I just told you that Clifford Stone had a book of 57.
Hmm.
So if he's got 57 with the drawings that he's supposed to help, there's at least 57. Colonel Corso told me 52.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
He told me 52, but I can't guess. I mean, that's a question. I would make up something. No, I have to people. I have to ask the people like a Clifford Stone who did crash retrieval. I mean, he was the first one that crashes because he had telepathy, and they knew that they couldn't talk to these beings, and Clifford could, communicate. And Colonel Corso told me that in the Pentagon they had 52, but that's in the book Conversations with Colonel Corso. And Colonel Corso had come to the same conclusion you and I have, that there has to be peace, that we have to stop killing each other, that we have to watch out for the money behind it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, so how many, what do you think? How many different races are visiting Earth?
60.
60? Oh,
Yes, 60.
yes, because I heard like so many before, like 30, 50, so it's 60?
Sí, de esas 60, 55 bien intencionadas.
60, 55 races are good-hearted, good intention, goodwill.
Y 5 no bien
And
intencionadas.
5 of these races are not good at all.
And
Ahora, los otros
who are
los-
those five that they are bad intentions?
Cinco.
Or what do they look like?
What do they do? ¿Cómo se ven?
los hay de forma muy humana,
There's some that are very human-like,
pero también los hay de forma como draconiano, como si fueran dragones.
some that are very draconian, dragon-like.
Sí. Ahora, no es que sean malos.
It's not that they're evil.
Lo que pasa es que tienen miedo de nosotros.
Look, what happens is that they're very afraid of us.
O sea, tienen miedo de lo que podamos nosotros producir
They're
o
afraid
generar.
of what we could do. We could generate what we could produce.
¿Ya? Entonces, las otras 55 están cuidando la Tierra
The other 55 are actually taking care of planet Earth.
para que no cualquiera pueda entrar
So not anybody could just come in and take over.
y no puede interferir con nuestro proceso.
And they would not interfere with their process.
Hoy día, el 2 de julio,
Nowadays, today
es el día de los ovnis.
actually is UFO day.
Sí, hoy se recuerda el caso Roswell, de un ovni que se estrelló.
Today is a Remembrance Day of the Roswell case.
Sí,
Area 54.
sí. Ese ovni no se accidentó, o sea, no se destruyó por accidente,
That UFO did not crash by accident.
sino que fue derribado,
It was actually taken down.
pero no por tecnología terrestre.
Not by human technology.
Nosotros no podíamos hacerle ni cosquillas.
We couldn't even do anything. We couldn't even
Sí,
tickle them.
sí. Esa nave fue derribada por otras naves
That ship was actually taken down by another ship
que están cuidando la Tierra de quienes no vienen con buenas intenciones.
that are actually taking care of our planet that are protecting us.
And did an entity told you this?
Ellos nos han dicho toda esta
Yes.
información, sí.
Yes, they told them.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting because I never heard that, because like all sort of theories. I never heard that we're talking about the Roswell crash, right? Roswell.
Yeah, yes. Yes, the Roswell crash.
I think it was Tom DeLonge was talking about that probably they are using like other frequencies to enter our reality. Don't you think that might be some beings are like that? So not necessarily ETs, but more like multi-dimensional beings. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I've certainly done a lot of research into this aspect because people are raising all kinds of different theories to account for these experiences. And I will say that almost all of the people who've been taken on board that I've talked to believe they're dealing with extraterrestrials, people like us. And most of the researchers who deal with these kinds of accounts, particularly onboard experiences, as opposed to, sightings and what have you, also believe that. The extraterrestrial theory, explanation, I should say, is by far the most popular, and it is the one I subscribe to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are they interdimensional beings or multidimensional? Yes, but so are we. All entities have, interdimensional qualities to them. We have a soul. We will survive life after death.
Not just NDEs, but 9 other types of evidence for life after death, including reincarnation, mediumship, electronic communication. The evidence is overwhelming beyond a reasonable doubt that there is an afterlife, that we survive the death of our physical bodies.
Yeah.
ETs as well. They have a much greater understanding of other dimensions and are able to use it in their technology. So when we see these craft turning at right angles or appearing and disappearing, and traveling interstellar distances, they're using interdimensional technology.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you can call them interdimensional, but that does not preclude them from being extraterrestrial. Are they time travelers from the future? I don't think so. I've examined every case I could get my hands on, and there are a few that assert this. I don't find them particularly credible. There's not enough of them, I think, to really conclude that these are us from the future. I don't see any really good support for that theory. I do think ETs can time travel. They're able to do things with time that we don't fully understand, and can certainly go to the past and view it, or to some extent even see the future. But no, I don't think it's us from the future. I don't think it's demonic. I don't think it's an intelligence that wears different masks. But I do think there are such things as angels. Demons are real, poltergeists. There are some beings which aren't extraterrestrial, like little people in all different cultures, fairies, gnomes, and dwarves.
Yep.
I don't think those are ET. I think those are interdimensional beings. You might call them crypto-terrestrials, people who live here on Earth, but perhaps in the 4th dimension and can travel down to the 3rd and back to the 4th with ease. So there's a lot going on here that is all being conflated together. And I think that's a mistake. I do think we're dealing with extraterrestrials. When one comes down in a craft and has portholes and it leaves marks on the ground and you're taken on board and healed or implanted, exclusively extraterrestrial. But when someone, is in their home and the doors start opening and closing by themselves and they're seeing tall, dark apparitions, a demonic haunting follows a very set pattern.
Poltergeist type.
But when someone's out in the woods and they see a little man who's, a foot tall or maybe 2 feet tall, wearing, a brown coat and boots and a little belt and a hat maybe, that's probably one of the little people that are present in pretty much every culture on our planet.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going to say all the experiences are extraterrestrial, but the ones that are flying in craft, yes. There's another type of men in black where people report them being not quite human.
Yes.
But human looking, but walking strange, very pale, pasty skin, not really knowing social interactions. Yeah, many different types of ETs. We have, of course, grays, we have little blue beings, we have praying mantids, we have human looking, we have tall whites. And when I say grays, short little ones that are probably, biological androids, machines. Or, taller ones or even very tall ones.
Yes.
But strange humanoids of all kinds, light beings. There's a huge variety, but near as I can tell, it's all just sort of like not so much different species, but what we would call different ancestries, different ethnicities, because they are all very much humanoid, which I think is hugely significant, has great implications, with some that look just like us. That raises the question of human origins. Did we come from this planet? because many people have been told by the ETs that no, we did not. And I think it raises the question of how close is our relationship to these guys?
Yeah.
Much closer, I think, than we often give credit for. So still a lot of questions, still a lot of room for research here.
Yeah, yeah.